Lewis Hamilton is preparing for a new chapter in his career by joining one of the most successful teams in the world, Ferrari. It seems that the seven-time world champion has taken significant steps, such as secretly visiting Maranello and learning Italian to better adapt to the team. However, Hamilton still leaves the door open to return to Mercedes in the future, although many believe that chapter of his life is over. With all this in mind, is Hamilton really ready to dominate with Ferrari? If so, what challenges will he face? There is no denying that the collaboration between Lewis Hamilton and Ferrari will be one of the most iconic moments in Formula One history, capturing the attention of fans and observers of the sport around the world. Especially with the official announcement that the two will start working together in 2025, this move is sure to be a hot topic that will continue to be discussed. However, this monumental decision is not just a strategy that looks smooth and perfect on paper. This collaboration is a huge challenge, filled with various risks and very high expectations from both Hamilton and Ferrari. As one of the most successful drivers in Formula One history, Lewis Hamilton has written his name in the record books with a number of brilliant achievements. However, his decision to join Ferrari is far more significant than any of his previous moves, including his decision to leave McLaren to join Mercedes in 2013. At the time, Hamilton's decision was considered brave, even risky, as he was leaving the team where he had built his career from the beginning. However, his courage paid off handsomely, especially when he and Mercedes managed to dominate Formula One for years in the new regulatory era. Now the situation he faces is very different. Choosing Ferrari, a team that has become an icon of the sport with a long history and the most loyal fan base in the world, is not just an ordinary team change. Ferrari, although legendary, is also known as a high-pressure team with high expectations from its fans, who do not hesitate to criticize when the expected results are not achieved. This creates a much more complex dynamic for Hamilton, who must prove that he can still shine in the midst of great challenges with the team with the prancing horse logo. This decision is not only about the pursuit of success, but also about facing new challenges at a stage of his career that is already full of extraordinary achievements. When his contract with Mercedes expires on December 31, 2024, Lewis Hamilton has prepared a major step in his career by planning his move to Ferrari. This process did not happen suddenly, but through a series of strategic steps that he had carefully prepared. In recent months, Hamilton has reportedly visited Ferrari's headquarters in Maranello up to 5 times. These visits were not only to discuss technical details related to his move, but also to strengthen relationships with various important elements within the team's internal structure. Hamilton is well aware that his success at Ferrari will be determined by a strong collaboration and synergy with the technicians and engineers who will support him. One of the key figures at the center of his approach is Riccardo Adami, who is expected to be his racing engineer at Ferrari. This approach shows that Hamilton's move to Ferrari is not just about gaining experience or a new phase in his career, but is truly driven by a great ambition to win again. He understands that success depends not only on the speed of the car on the track, but also on a harmonious and solid relationship with the team. By building this solid foundation, Hamilton is trying to ensure that he and Ferrari can create the perfect synergy to reach the pinnacle of performance. Hamilton fully understands that driving for Ferrari is not just joining an ordinary racing team. Ferrari has a very unique position in the world of Formula One, with a long history and a very loyal fan base. He is aware that joining this legendary team means facing enormous pressure, both from Ferrari's fanatical fans and from the Italian media, which is known to be critical and not afraid to make harsh comments about drivers who are considered not to be living up to expectations. As a result, Hamilton has taken several steps to prepare for this challenge. One form of commitment he showed was to start learning Italian. This step is considered very rare for non-Italian drivers, who usually rely on translators or communicate in English. But Hamilton took a different approach. According to a report published by La Gazzetta dello Sport, Hamilton has been actively taking Italian lessons for the past few weeks. He believes that understanding the local language will help him not only communicate better with the Ferrari team, but also integrate himself into the very distinctive and respected Ferrari culture. This step also shows his seriousness in building a closer relationship with the team and Ferrari fans around the world. Not stopping there, Hamilton also focused his attention on the technical aspects of the Ferrari car, something that is very important for a driver to ensure the best performance on the track. He began to study the various technical details of the car he would be driving to ensure that the car could be adapted to his typical racing style. One aspect he has focused on is comfort and efficiency in the cockpit. Hamilton has requested a number of changes to the cockpit position to better suit his preferences and allow him to perform at his best during the race. With this move, Hamilton hopes to strike the perfect balance between a technically reliable car and his confidence as a top racer. Lewis Hamilton's first test with Ferrari is scheduled for January 2025 at the Fiorano circuit in Italy, a track known as Ferrari's test base. During this test, Hamilton will drive the F1-75 car, the car that Ferrari will be using for the 2022 Formula One racing season. Although this car has faced various technical and performance challenges on track in the past, Hamilton remains optimistic. He believes that this test will be a crucial moment to understand the character of the car, while building a solid synergy between himself and his new team, Ferrari. However, Hamilton is not the only spotlight on the Ferrari team. Charles Leclerc, a talented young driver who has become one of Ferrari's mainstays in recent years, brings an impressive track record. With 8 race wins and 43 podiums to his name, Leclerc has established himself as one of the best drivers on the Formula One grid. The presence of 2 big stars in one team creates an interesting dynamic, with Hamilton, with his status as an experienced world champion, having to share the spotlight with Leclerc, a young star at the peak of his potential. This situation is expected to be challenging for both drivers, but it also opens up a huge opportunity for Ferrari to use Hamilton's experience and Leclerc's ambition to recapture their glory days in F1. Healthy competition between the two is expected to push Ferrari to be more competitive, but how their relationship develops under pressure will be one of the most interesting aspects to watch in the coming season. With all the preparations that have been made, Lewis Hamilton still has a big challenge ahead of him. Ralf Schumacher, brother of Ferrari legend Michael Schumacher, has openly expressed his doubts about Hamilton's ability to develop a car that suits his driving style. According to Ralf, Hamilton has a different approach than Michael, who is known as a racer who is very adept at working closely with the technical team to perfect the car's performance in order to compete at the highest level. Ralf also pointed out that Hamilton tends to rely more on team-developed strategies rather than making independent decisions on the track. This approach contrasts with drivers such as Max Verstappen, who are often seen as more independent and able to make quick decisions when faced with critical situations on the track. With Charles Leclerc's position as Ferrari's main star at the moment, Hamilton will have to work extra hard to show that he is worthy of being a leader who can lead the team to glory. Despite the pressure, one thing is for sure: Hamilton did not come to Ferrari to retire. He came to win and add to his collection of world titles. In several interviews, Hamilton has even expressed his desire to continue racing beyond the age of Fernando Alonso, who is currently still active at 43. But can Ferrari deliver a competitive car to match Hamilton's ambitions? That remains a big question. With its long history, Ferrari has great potential, but technical problems have often hampered them in recent seasons. The collaboration between Hamilton and Ferrari will be one of the most interesting chapters in F1 history. Although there are many challenges ahead, Hamilton has shown his seriousness in preparing for this new chapter. From building relationships in Maranello to learning Italian, he has taken concrete steps to succeed with Ferrari. Will Hamilton be able to bring Ferrari back to the top? And more importantly, can he beat Leclerc in the same car? All eyes will be on Maranello as this new chapter begins in 2025. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments.